everyone, I'm Kelly from Culikid, and today I'm going to show you how to take a boxed rice pilaf mix and with just adding a few extra ingredients, how we can turn it into some creamy Parmesan rice with green beans. So the first thing we do is get our ingredients and supplies. So you'll need a boxed rice pilaf mix or any other boxed rice you might have on hand, some frozen green beans, half a lemon, 2 cloves of garlic, grated Parmesan, and some olive oil. For our supplies, we'll need a wooden spoon, a pot with a lid, a strainer, which is optional, a garlic press, which is also optional, a small cutting board with a knife, a tablespoon, a liquid measuring cup, a cup and a half cup measuring cups, a scissor, and some prep bowls. So now we're ready to start cooking. And before you cook, the first thing we need to do is wash our hands. And I have already done that, so I'm ready to get started. So we're gonna start by putting our pot on the burner and turning our stove on to medium heat. Then while that heats up, we're going to get our garlic ready. So right now I have a full head of garlic, and I'm going to show you how you can break out 2 cloves. You can pull through with your fingernail if you want, or you can use a little bit of a knife to break through this skin. And we are just going to dig in there and pull off some of the skin and grab hold of one of the garlic cloves and just pull off. So this actually broke off a big one, so you don't need to do 2. And then you'll see that it still has all the skin on it. So we're gonna keep taking the skin off. And there are lots of tricks on the internet for how you can take this off, and you can use a chef's knife and use the palm of your hand the heel of your hand rather, to smash the garlic, which makes it a little bit easier. Or you can just use your hands, which is actually a nice way for you to get your kids involved. If you don't want them to be using a knife, they can help with this. So we have 1 piece of garlic ready, and we're working on our second one. And now I'm just gonna cut off this little nub here on each of these. And like I said, so we're gonna use a garlic press, but if you don't have one, you can just use a knife and finely dice these, or mince these rather, and put them in a little prep bowl, because they will go into the pan once it's ready to go. So to use the garlic press, we put our clove of garlic in. Make sure that this piece is going to press down right on your garlic, and then push the handles together to close it. And you'll see it all pushes through right here. And we'll use a knife to just scrape it off. And then we'll do our second clove. And same thing. Okay, all set with that. Scoop up our garbage, and we're done with our garlic. So now we'll just open up our box of rice. And there will be a little spice mix in there as well. And you can just cut off at the top. So that's ready to go into the pot after the garlic. And lastly is we need to measure our water. So you're just gonna follow whatever the box says to do, and each one might be a little bit different, so make sure you check that before you do that if you're using something different. So my box says to do 1 3/4 cup of water. So I have a 1 cup measuring cup here, so we'll do it in 2 batches. And when you do measure using a liquid cup, you wanna just get down to eye level, make sure it lines up right with the line. So we've got 1 cup, and now I'm gonna do 3/4. And again, same thing at eye level, a little bit more. And it's right on the line, I'll pour it in here. So we're all set. And we'll see if our pot is ready to go, and it is nice and hot for us. So the first thing before the garlic and all that goes in is you want to just do a little bit of olive oil. So you can measure 1 tablespoon. Put that in your pot. And put the garlic in. And garlic cooks really, really fast. So that's why we prepped all those other things that are going in next to make sure that they are ready. So that way we don't burn our garlic while we are fumbling with our box or trying to figure out how much water we need. So it just takes 20-30 seconds to get your garlic nice and cooked. It's even almost starting to brown. So once that's ready, I'm going to next pour in the rice, followed by the seasoning packet. And give that a quick mix. And then we're ready to add the water. So pour that in there. We're mixing that all together. And then you want to bring this to a boil. So you want to turn your burner all the way up and watch this to see when bubbles start forming. And then once that happens, we will cover it with a lid and turn it down. So after a few minutes, our pot is boiling pretty rapidly. We're going to give it a quick stir, turn it down to low heat, and cover it with a lid. So we are going to cook it for 5 minutes less than the box recommends. So this says to cook it for 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm going to set a timer here for 15 minutes for us. So we'll let that go, and while that's cooking, we will get all of our other ingredients prepped, measured, and ready. So we're gonna start by measuring our green beans. So I'm just gonna open this up, and we need 2 cups of green beans. So you have another prep bowl here, and you can scoop into the bag or pour it in. And we have 1 cup, and do it again. And 2 cups. Put that to the side. And next we will squeeze our lemon. So I have this strainer here, which will catch any of our seeds that come through. But if you don't have one, you can actually just use your hand. So you can squeeze it right into your hand and let the lemon juice come through your fingers. So just give this a nice squeeze. And then we'll measure our Parmesan. So you need 1/2 cup of Parmesan. So we have pre-grated already, and you can also use a fresh block of Parmesan and grate it yourself as well. So we pour this in, and that's perfect. We have exactly 1/2 cup of Parmesan. We'll put that in our prep cup and put that to the side. And that's actually all we need. So we still have some time on the timer, so we're going to just take a quick break, and once our timer goes off, I will show you how to do the rest. So our timer just went off, so we're gonna take an oven mitt to remove the lid very carefully and turn it away from us so that the steam goes that way. And now we're gonna add our green beans. So we're gonna pour all of our green beans in and mix this all up. And this is why we didn't put it in for the full time. So we're gonna use the last 5 minutes of cooking to cook our frozen green beans as well. So we are going to set another timer. We'll first another timer for 5 minutes. And in between that time, you'll see we took that opportunity to clean up. So we have a nice clean working space and all of our dishes are already done for us. So in another 5 minutes, we'll be back to finish the recipe. So our second timer just went off. So now we're ready to add the rest of our ingredients. So we have our oven mitt again. We're going to carefully take off the lid and put it down and give this a little bit of a mix. Make sure there's nothing stuck to the bottom, which there is a little bit. That's okay. And now we can add the rest of our ingredients. So I'm going to start by adding Parmesan and the lemon juice. And now you want to mix this all up so it gets all incorporated and the Parmesan melts, makes it nice and creamy. So you see it's nice and creamy and all mixed together. And we're almost done, but before we serve, we just want to take a little taste. So I'm taking this spoon, just a little bit, and once it cools down, I'm going to taste to see if I want to add anything else to it. So I think that this could use a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt, so I'm going to just sprinkle in some pepper and salt to taste. I've done that. I'm going to give this another mix. So we have all of our salt and pepper mixed into this as well. And there you have it, you're all set. You have 1 pot Parmesan rice with green beans in under 30 minutes. Enjoy.